Welcome to our discussions and thank you for always joining us. We are looking at appreciation and depreciation, a subtopic in commercial arithmetic 2. And the question we have reads, a farmer bought a machine at 110,000 shillings. If the depreciation rate is 15,000 per annum, calculate A, the value of the machine after 3 years. This buying price is equal to the principal, which is 110,000 Kenya shillings. The rate of depreciation is 15% and the number of years is 3. Find the value of the machine after 3 years. We are supposed to look for the amount. Remember, under depreciation, the amount is lower than the principal. Therefore, we use the compound interest formula that states that amount is equals to principal into 1. Since it is depreciation, we minus r divided by 100, we raise to the power of n. The principal amount will be equal to the principal, which is 110,000. We multiply by 1 minus the rate, which is 15 over 100. We raise to the power of 3, and this one is going to give us 110 multiplied by 15 divided by 100, you get 0.15. Therefore, 1 minus 0.15 will give us 0.85. We raise to the power of 3, and this one is going to give us 0.85 cubed. You multiply by 110,000, you get an amount equivalent to shillings 67,553,075 cents as the answer to this particular question. We move to part B. They want us to calculate the number of years it will take for the value to depreciate to 55,000. In this case, 55,000 is the amount. It is moving from the principal, which is 100,000, and in this case we are supposed to calculate n, which is unknown, and the rate remains 15% from the previous question, and therefore we use again the compound interest formula. Amount is equals to principal into 1, but since this is depreciation, we use minus r over 100. You divide, you raise by the power of n. In this case, the amount we are targeting is 55,000. This one is going to be equal to the principal, which is 110,000. We multiply by 1 minus the rate, which is 15 over 100. We raise to the power of n, and in this case, the n is what we don't have. We start by dividing both sides by 110,000, such that 110 and 110 cancels. 55,000 divided by 110, you get 0.5, which is equal to 1 minus 15 over 100, you get 0.85 raised to the power of n. At this point now, we can introduce the logarithms on both sides. Introduce logs on both sides. We are going to have log 0.5 being equal to the log of 0.85 you raise to the power of n. Under the rules of logarithms, the power multiplies behind the log, and therefore we are going to have log of 0.5 being equal to n log of 0.85. In this case, to remain with n, you divide by the log of 0.85 on both sides, where log 0.85 and log 0.85 goes, remaining with n, which is going to be equal to the log of 0.5 divided by the log of 0.85, and this one is going to give us log 0.5 will give us negative 0.3010 divided by the log of 0.85 will give us negative 0.0706, and this one is going to give us the value equivalent to positive 4.26 years, and that is the answer to this particular question. Remember to subscribe and also help us to share the link. We are moving to the second question, which is again on depreciation. And the question we have reads, a salesman sold a new motorcycle at 24,000. The depreciation rate was 5% per annum. What is the value of the motorcycle after 3 years? The amount we begin with becomes our principal of 24,000. We have the rate of depreciation as 5%, and the number of years the motorcycle is going to depreciate will be 3 years. Now, to get the amount, which we don't have, we use the compound interest formula that says A is equals to P into 1. Since this is depreciation, we minus add over 100 you raise to the power of n. In this case, the amount will be equal to the principal of 24,000 multiplied by 1 minus the rate of depreciation is 5%. 5% is 5 over 100. You raise to 3. And this one is going to give us 24,000 multiplied by 1 minus 5 over 100 will give us 0.95. Then you raise everything to 3. And this one is going to be 0.95 cubed. You multiply by 24,000. And this one is going to give us an amount equivalent to shillings, 20,577 as the answer to this particular question. We move to question number 3. Question number 3 reads, a merchant bought a car at 40,000. This is the buying price, which is the same as the principal of 40,000. Its depreciation rate is estimated at 10% per annum of its value at the beginning of each year. That is 10% rate. What will be the value of the car at the end of 4 years? That is our n. In this case, what we are looking for is the amount which we don't have. Under depreciation, since the car is losing value, the amount is going to be lower than the principal. We say amount is equals to P into 1 minus R divided by 100. We raise it to n. The principal is 40,000 into 1 minus the rate of depreciation, which is 10%. That is 10 out of 100. We raise everything to the power of 4. And this one is going to give us 40,000. We multiply by 10 divided by 100 will give us 0.1. Then 1 minus 0.1, you get 0.9. You get 0.9. Then you raise it to the power of 4. So if you take 0.9, you raise it to 4, then you multiply by 40,000. This one is going to give us an amount equivalent to 26,244,000 as the answer to this particular question that was done in 1991, paper 2, question number 9. We move to question number 4. Question number 4 reads, a plot of land was valued at 50,000 at the start of 1994. It appreciated by 20% during 1994. Thereafter, every year it appreciated by 10% of its previous year's value. Find the value of the land at the start of 1995. So the new value would simply be 20% above 100, which will be 120% of the value at the beginning, which is 50,000, and this one is going to give us an amount equivalent to 60,000, which is the value of the land at the start of 1995. In this case, we move to part B, the value of the land at the end of 1997. We say at the end of 1995, the value will be equal to, the rate of depreciation is now 10%, the rate of appreciation, and this case it is going to be 10% above 100, which is 110% of the previous amount of 60,000, and this one is going to give us 66,000. This one is going to give us 66,000. Then we go to 1996. The value in this case will be equal to 110%, that is times 66,000, and this one is going to give us 72,600. And in the year 1997, we are going to have the value calculated at 110%. You multiply by 72,600, and this one is going to give us an amount equivalent to 79,860 as the answer to this particular question. Alternatively, we are going to use compound interest formula, which states that amount is equals to P into 1 plus R, 100 you raise to N. And this one is going to give us the principal we are beginning with is 60,000. We multiply by 1 plus, the rate after that was 10%, and in this case we are going to have 10 over 100 you raise to N, giving us 60,000, multiplied by 1 plus 10 over 100 giving us 1.1, then we raise to 3 because we will be having 1995, 1996 and 1997, and therefore N is going to be 3, and this one is going to give us an amount equivalent to 79,860 shillings. Thank you for watching and welcome to our discussions. And in case you are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two. You click the subscribe button so that anytime we publish a video like this, you'll automatically be given a notification. And to the subscribers, we continue thanking you because without your support, this channel will not be growing at the rate it is growing. Thank you and welcome.